Since Street Fighter, fighting games have done a great job representing all walks of life and showcasing diversity. From world warriors to around the globe, occupations, and more, it's great to see something represented in a fighter. It helps us relate with them a little bit more when you're selecting a character on the screen. Today, we're looking at one that really stood out to me since I was a kid, and a character that represents something important, the Native American warrior of Mortal Kombat, Nightwolf. All 8 of his finishers will be ranked from the worst to the best.
Fight!
Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. My name is Nick, and welcome back to the channel. Consider clicking the subscribe button to join the Whack Pack today, and to stay tuned for some more fighting game content and rankings. Today, we're going to be looking at Grey Cloud, or the most popular one to hold the title of Nightwolf, who's the shaman warrior introduced in Mortal Kombat 3 and is my dad's favorite character in the series. Nightwolf was actually one of my first picks when I first played MK3. And another fun fact, Nightwolf was actually the first Mortal Kombat character I went out as for Halloween in 5th grade, second being Sub-Zero last year. Nightwolf was always someone that stood out to me when I was younger. As someone who is Native American, specifically Navajo, it was nice to see a series like Mortal Kombat include a Native American character, especially a character done with respect. For this reason, he's always stood out to me and my dad. As cool as Nightwolf is as a character, his finishers leave a lot to be desired, many of which feel pretty generic or could have been loads better. As much as my dad probably doesn't want to hear this, I agree with Unruly here.
Good impact.
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
Nightwolf has been the king
That's
of
a
bad fatalities.
4.
Meth fatalities.
Yeah, I guess we're off to a good start. You know these fatalities are going to be ranked based on its creativity, pacing, impact, and the fit to the character. If there is one that I rank low, I'll try to at least explain some positives about it. With 4 playable appearances, let's sharpen those tomahawks, summon your bow and arrows, and make your call to nature as we rank all 8 of Nightwolf's finishers across the series. Number 8. We're kicking off this list by looking at his second playable appearance, MK Deception. As he foresaw the coming of the Dragon King, Onaga, he prepared to defeat this menace with his powers and abilities. With the 3D technology and updates to the character, how would he defeat these threats? In the most generic way possible. Tomahawk Deception takes the bottom spot, not for a lack of effort or trying, but actually that's exactly what it is. Throughout the series and into this title, we've seen many ways people have gotten ahead of themselves and lost their head. Just chanting right before a swing to the head really doesn't innovate anything. It's just really bland and boring. Nothing more to ask me about. Number 7. Crazy we're this low on this list and we're already looking at one of the best titles in the series, MK9. With the team getting super creative with these cinematic fatalities, I'm very disappointed for what we got with Nightwolf's first finisher. One of my least favorite finishers from this game is Little Off the Top. I've said it so many times where I sound like a broken record, but MK9's fatalities fuse 2 classics into one. For some reason, NRS mixed 2 finishers from Deception into one. As an end result, it has some glaring issues. The pacing is really slow and just isn't that flashy in comparison to the rest of the roster. If you did a pseudo remake of the Lightning Strike from MK3, throwing the tomahawk into their head, then electrocuting them until they exploded would have been a better approach if you ask me. Instead, we just got another dull finisher. Number 6. Finishing up Deception with another one of Nightwolf's tomahawk-based finishers. With his first being a pretty generic decapitation, his second one at least does something a little different, but still not too special at the end of the day. Hitting the target right on the head is Tomahawk Throw. It's just another basic projectile finisher, but at least it does something different with the tomahawk going in their head. I do like the impact of the hit. the long scream the opponent gives, but it's still pretty basic. If anything, I really wish Nightwolf took some notes from William Knifeman to make it stand out a bit more, maybe doing something like this after throwing the tomahawk. Still a bland finisher at the end of the day. Number 5. I'm just as surprised as you are, dare I say, shocked as we're finally looking at Mortal Kombat 3. The game with a great combo system, but lacking finishers. For Nightwolf's debut, this one is okay, but it's missing something.
Fatality.
Number 5 goes to Lightning Strike. Of the finishers we've seen so far, this one is the flashiest, implementing lightning elements into the finisher. However, the opponent only gets struck by lightning. That's about it. Now, there is a way to improve this one, easily placing it into the top 3, and that is I wish it made the body go boom. If this element had been added, this would have been one hell of an improvement. It would have been a little bit more striking. Number 4. Let's stick around with Mortal Kombat 3 for his next finisher. This is where I'd say his finishers go from bad and forgettable to okay or good. Here's another take on Nightwolf's spiritual elements used to great effect for his second fatality.
Fatality.
Energy channel beams down into the 4th spot. As a kid, this was ingrained into my mind. Having the energy channel come down to disintegrate the opponent is unique, which honestly is something we didn't see much of back in the day. Of his classic finishers, it was nice to see this one remade in Mortal Kombat 9. While we're at it, let's keep the momentum rolling by looking at some more good Nightwolf finishers. Number 3. Cracking into the top 3 by looking at Mortal Kombat 11. Nightwolf was the second playable character added to the Kombat pack. Of the ways they could have redesigned Nightwolf, this may be one of the best ways to do it, showcasing himself and making him look more like a warrior. In this timeline, he's equipped with more spirit powers to make his gameplay more fun. For a strong and spry 26-year-old, geez, he's only 26? He's bringing him some spirit animals for some major damage. Taking the bronze medal is Komotose. As flashy and brutal as this one is, there are a few things I want to get out of the way first I don't like. For one, it has a pretty weak start for me. Not sure how the opponent isn't dead after they imitate an owl, twisting their head around. It's just an odd start and it kinda slows the pacing a bit for me. I would have rather liked to see him do an iconic axe swing, knocking him in the air, having him catch, and then summon Komo to rip them apart. Besides that, it's really cool to see him bring in spirit animals for a finisher. Grey Cloud's strength here is unbearable. Number 2. Our runner-up comes from the reboot from 2011. Funny his first finisher was second to last, now his second is, well, second. As I foreshadowed earlier, the team recreated his energy channel finisher from the classic trilogy and made it a bit more brutal with some cinematic additions.
Nightwolf wins.
Ascending into number 2 is Ascension. This is a good way to update his classic from 1995. Adding the lightning daggers to stab into their clavicles, along with a really nice slow-mo shot to go with it. It just emphasizes the impact. Following it up by summoning the energy channel and an appropriately used high-angle shot. After getting a hint of seeing their skin melt away, the light fades and they're smoked like a slab of ribs in a smoker. What a fun way to recreate a classic with great framing and thematic elements. Changes like this are what help ascend it higher on this list. Number 1. Not coming as a surprise for many, but number 1 comes from his latest appearance in Mortal Kombat 11. Honestly, half of his finishers are pretty forgettable or not that great. With the technical advancements MK11 made with its cinematic fatalities and with the gore, we've got probably the most disgusting Nightwolf finisher to date.
fatality. Nightwolf wins.
Striking right at the heart is War Ritual. This one really takes advantage of the gore tech to the next level. Swinging right at their jaw to then peel it off is just unnerving to watch. A great way to cap it off is by stepping back and then throwing the tomahawk into their chest, splitting their heart in two. Gotta give the team major credit for the attention to detail on the heart. The ventricles are highly detailed along with the internal organs. Of all of the Nightwolf fatalities, this one is the most detailed in terms of gore and is shot really well, all to get the viewer extremely disturbed. With the mix of the classic axe throw and modernizations, this is what makes War Ritual the #1 Nightwolf finisher of all time. So there you have my ranking of all Nightwolf's finishers from worst to best. Of these 8, which one did you like the most? Sound it off in the comments down below and I'll surely get back with you. I know this was someone many of you have been asking for, so thank you for the request and keep them coming. I do read them, so don't worry. We're closing out 2022, which means I've got 2 videos planned for December, possibly a third if MK12 gets revealed at the Game Awards next Thursday. If there's a reveal, be sure to tune in and listen to my first impressions and reactions. Be sure to come back December 12th for another grouped finisher ranking video. More highly requested characters you've been, well, screaming for, and these 3 will make it rain. Until then, thank you so much for your continuous support. My name is Nick, and remember how much you matter. Keep your head held high.